So I was telling my friend I was going to make this video. Today is December 25th, 2013. You've probably already heard this message before, but if you haven't, I'm going to repeat it. Jesus is the reason for the season, but Christmas is the reason for the sickness. Too many times people forget what Christmas is about. If you don't know what Christmas is about and you got a little money to spend, go down to Radio City Music Hall, and around Christmas time they have the Christmas special with the Rockettes, and watch the Rockettes. On the left here, every few houses you'll see, every once in a while you'll see a boarded up house. This neighborhood is about a few blocks from my house, and we'll go down another 3 or 4 blocks, and at some point you'll see that the houses become more and more boarded up. Now in these homes, people are celebrating Christmas just like Jesus. Jesus was born in the town of Bethlehem approximately 2,000 years ago. People say there was no Jesus, Jesus didn't exist. We just had snow in Israel last week. We just had snow. We had snow in Egypt last week. The last time it snowed in Egypt was 125 years ago. So somebody with great-grandma or great-grandpa, they remembered a story about the last time it snowed in Egypt. And just like that, there are families that hand down tradition from generation to generation, and they know this story. And you know, in the little town of Bethlehem, as we know, Jesus and Mary had to go from their home in Egypt all the way back to Israel, because at the time the leader of Rome declared a census. And you know, in modern times we use computers to conduct censuses. The first computers were based on punch cards used to program loom machines to weave carpets. I know quite a bit about the U.S. Census. That technology was developed and used for punch cards up till about 30 or 40 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago. Punch cards were commonly used, and they conducted the census in the towns where everybody was born. There was no place in Bethlehem for a pregnant woman and her husband. And sometimes if you ever traveled across the United States, you want to live somewhere, you'll notice that the hotel rooms are no vacancies. There's no place to stay, so you have to go buy a couple of hotel rooms to find a place to stay. Now the only place they had to stay in Bethlehem was a manger. It's widely debated in Bethlehem where the manger was. There's a Church of the Holy Sepulchre that supposedly sits on top of the site where Jesus was born. Some people, it's highly documented that it was actually a cave of some sort. Caves would have been a good place for people to stay in inclement weather. But right here we have a house with a wreath on the house, which is a circle. And you know, a lot of times we see outward decorations for Christmas. Obama, the pretender and thief, has the White House decorated with a tree for Christmas. Some people say he's a Muslim. The church that he went to in Chicago had a quote-unquote convert, and from Islam as the preacher. And it's widely debated what kind of church this was. Now this neighborhood here is a nice neighborhood where they film movies sometimes. It's a more wealthier neighborhood with doctors that work nearby at UMAB, University of Maryland Medical, and Johns Hopkins. I'll probably do this video in a few segments. The next segment I'll look for is to see that if I can find some nicely decorated houses. Here's some people walking out in front of cars without looking. The bus wants to come over and hit me. He doesn't really realize he's a bus. Some of these neighborhoods come back and some of them don't. There's some houses that are just totally demolished. In Baltimore, there's tens of thousands of houses. And like I said, this house here is demolished, but the house next to it, there's some people living in it. Those people are celebrating Christmas, maybe, if they celebrate Christmas. Some people may not have money for decorations or a tree. Some of the people might be alcoholics. Some of the people might be drug addicts. You'll have a various process in Baltimore where some people get saved, they have a relapse, they think they're all right, but they're not. I have questions in my mind. What constitutes some being saved? Maybe some people, some people say, am I saved? So they might wait till the end of the time to be judged, find out if there is an afterlife, and to see if they're saved or not. Lots of boarded up houses here, as you can see. And on the other side, all these people, it's Christmas time for them. The Amazing Atheist, he has a Christmas tree up. He's celebrating Christmas. He's not a Christian. He doesn't believe in God, but he likes getting presents. A lot of people say they believe if they put up a tree, presents will arrive. But this is around the neighborhood where my family has lived for about the last 100 years. My family lived through Depression here. They were immigrants from Ireland. We have some family that's been here from the beginning, and the rest of the family is Irish or Celtic. Celtic peoples wear a kilt from Ireland, usually a heavy handmade Irish sweater for winter time when it's very cold. Then they have to work outside, just like people from Scotland. Irish Celtic peoples are primarily Catholic. Scottish Celtic peoples are primarily Protestant. Both celebrate Christmas, but different ways. And I think there's just going to be 2 segments to this video. So I'll do this segment, and then I'm going to drive over to my mom's house to give her her present, and we will see some nicer houses decorated for Christmas. Those people will be celebrating Christmas, but it's not going to be the same kind of Christmas that Jesus celebrated 2,000 years ago. Okay, so I'm in the county about 5 miles from the city, and when you hear about urban flight, these are the people that got tired of living in the city, and they packed up their stuff and moved to the county. And we got some lawn ornaments here, and that's, like I said, I don't judge people. I used to have decorations when I was younger. Sometimes I'd put up lights in a tree. But I'm from a working class family. We never had money for a lot of stuff. And over the years, I've kind of this is my opinion, Jesus is the reason for the season, and Christmas is the reason for the sickness. And you keep hearing people talk about all this crazy stuff, but the last time in history that you see lots of boarded up houses is during the Great Depression in Nazi Germany. If you read about ghettos, go do some history on ghettos, and same conditions in a lot of the big cities in America. Detroit, where Barack Obama is from, where he was a senator and Rahm Emanuel was governor. Lots of boarded up houses. Of course, Detroit Motors needed a bail out and we go through one of the nicer neighborhoods where they have lots of Christmas decorations, and you can see this is these people will have a nice Christmas this year. But you know, when they go to the grocery store or the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the person at the counter is waiting at them, will they you know, will that person be remembered at Christmas? There's one street I want to go by around here that's just off the hook, decorated with Christmas decorations. I want to try and drive past there. I think it's this street up here. They just, you won't see any houses like this down in southwest Baltimore. I just want to go by this house real quick. This guy's got a lot of inflatables. Like, his thing is he likes inflatable Christmas. I mean, that looks nice. That looks nice, but can we find Jesus? If Jesus is the reason for the season, where's Jesus at? I mean, if you want to decorate your house with inflatables, that's fine. I don't have anything wrong against that. Maybe the amazing atheist would like lots of inflatable Christmas decorations on his lawn. But I don't know. I think that's going to conclude my video. I'll turn around here, go back, and then drive back towards the city. This guy gets more and more stuff every year. I mean, he's got my attention. It looks festive. I would imagine a lot of these things light up at night. So that's it. Merry Christmas. Oh, I forgot to say, one of my friends, his girlfriend pulled a knife on him the day before Christmas, and they had a fight, and the father threw him out, and I think they need counseling, but it's a little bit too much drinking. Merry Christmas.